Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name?
Today's court hearing was something else. The man listed in the paperwork as Matthew Aldridge stepped up to the podium and immediately claimed he didn't have a name. Instead, he kept calling himself an attorney of fact, which isn't a real legal position. People who follow the sovereign citizen approach often insist the court has no authority over them. But that's simply not how the law works. Courts have jurisdiction over anyone within their area. End of story. The judge didn't waste time entertaining these arguments and shut them down quickly. By the end, he completely outmaneuvered the defendant.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't we court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me. Apparently there's a copy here.
At one point, this man tried to support his claim by handing the judge a piece of paper filled with references to a made-up law that supposedly gave him the right to represent Matthew Aldridge. For anyone wondering, real attorneys must be licensed by the state and follow actual legal procedures. One homemade document doesn't replace years of training and certification. People who follow this belief system often argue about jurisdiction, as if declaring themselves outside the system changes anything. It doesn't. Courts operate based on long-established federal, state, and local laws, not imaginary rules. And this judge wasn't about to play along. Honestly, I keep running into these cases, and I can't tell if they're becoming more common, or if I just keep landing on the wild ones. Let me know your thoughts.
And personally, in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow, and as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation, and I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Would that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time that all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered.
The judge, for his part, handled the situation with patience and skill. He stayed calm while addressing every claim the man tried to make. The moment the defendant began citing made-up laws, the judge firmly shut it down. At one point, the judge even joked about the man refusing to say his own name, which you don't usually see from the bench. But right from the start, it was clear he wasn't going to let the hearing turn into a spectacle. In the end, it showed how ineffective and unnecessary these tactics are.
Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be set, will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go on about your business.
For those unfamiliar, sovereign citizens believe they can opt out of the legal system by rejecting government authority. They often bring up things like common law or the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, but they misunderstand how these laws actually work. Courts rely on established legal frameworks rooted in the Constitution and centuries of legal precedent. There's no loophole that lets someone decide the law doesn't apply to them. These arguments only waste time and usually lead to more legal trouble. The whole idea falls apart because of one basic concept: jurisdiction. Courts have authority over anyone in their geographical area, regardless of what claim someone makes. Judges have heard every version of these arguments, and none of them hold up. Trying to use these ideas to avoid taxes, fines, or charges doesn't just fail. It can lead to increased penalties for wasting the court's time. I honestly don't understand why people still try these strategies. Maybe they think they found a clever workaround, or maybe it feels rebellious. But in the end, it only makes the situation worse and comes across as unnecessary and unhelpful. That wraps up my breakdown for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts on the sovereign citizen movement in the comments. Thanks for watching and take care.